So Sledge is back, and I gotta admit, I didn't see this one coming. I was totally convinced the guy had poofed out of existence, but hey, the point is we have him back now, so the question is, what will the show do with the returning villain? Is Sledge gonna be more effective on his return than both Snide and Arcanon, or is he just here to fill time until the season ends? Let's find out as we look at episode 19, The Rangers Rock. The episode opens directly after the last one, with Sledge and company returning to the ship when Poisandra slaps the Master across the face, demanding that Sledge explain what he's been doing this whole time.
Well, I barely survived the crash. As I was trying to escape the ship, I found something very special in one of the abandoned cells. A plan began to hatch in my mind. It was bold. It was brilliant. But if I wanted to destroy the Rangers for good, I would need the help of one very bad egg. I had to secretly put pieces in place all over the world. So I fired up the old jetpack and made for the sky.
Oh, so that's what happened. Point goes to episode 1. Sledge goes on to say that he's back now, ready to enact his evil plan, but Poisandra's still mad that Sledge was traveling the world without her. Snide gets Sledge back on track with his plan, and Sledge says they need to power the ship's engines with the Dark Energem so they can get off the ground. Tyler's dad, James, sees all of this and goes off to warn the other Rangers before we get a new intro that now includes the Aqua Ranger, despite him being introduced in episode 5. At the lab, Zenowing shows Shelby a geode that he found, and while Shelby's not impressed at first, Zenowing says that he used geodes to create the Zords, offering to show Shelby how to do the same. Upstairs, the guys are having a pavlova eating contest because New Zealand, before Kendall comes in saying James and Philip are on their way because of what James found. Later, James tells the Rangers that Sledge has returned, working alongside Snide, so the Rangers try to come up with a plan to destroy the Dark Energem, which Keeper says will unlock the other gem's ultimate powers so they can defeat their enemies. Chase suggests attacking the ship in full force using their Megazords, but Shelby says there's no way to be sure of the Dark Energem's destruction that way, and that they should instead sneak on board the ship to crush the gem since they've been there before. The others agree, but when they make their move, they trigger the villain's sensors in the woods, making them ready for the Rangers' attack. Sledge sends out a monster called Medusa, who, using his magic amulet, starts turning the Rangers into stone when they look at him. After seeing Tyler turned into a statue, Shelby grabs the remaining 2 Rangers, and the 3 hide from a stalking Medusa. Heckle then comes out of nowhere to drive off Medusa, saying the monster will pay for all the planets he's destroyed, leaving Shelby and the other Rangers in total shock. The 3 Rangers take the others back to the lab, where they decide they need to finish off Medusa with the Megazord if they want to free the others, but none of their Zords have cockpits.
Then it is clear what we must do. Zenowing told you how he built the Zords. Now, you must create one.
Me? No. Only Zenowing can make a Zord. I mean, he told me the basics, but I only understood half of what he was saying. Besides, you wouldn't want my help. My brilliant idea to go to Sledge's ship is why we're in this mess.
But Shelby, you're the only one with any dinosaur knowledge. And a new Megazord may be the only way to save our friends.
But what if I make another mistake?
The biggest mistake of all would be not to try.
Well... first we need a dinosaur.
Wait, Shelby's gonna make a Megazord? Yeah, I'm totally down with this idea. Shelby gets to work finding a dinosaur that they can base the Zord off of, choosing to go with the Spinosaurus because of its strength and size. After a montage of Shelby assembling the Zord's properties into the geode, she asks Keeper to infuse the geode with his warrior spirit, and once he does so, the geode sinks into the ground. Keeper senses where the Zord is traveling and begins leading the Rangers to it, with Shelby following behind after reflecting on how she just made a Zord and its accompanying Dino Charger. Back with the villains, Poisandra begins decorating, having been promised by Sledge that they'll get married once the ship is in the air, which is happening sooner than later since Fury comes in to tell Sledge the engines are nearly fully charged. Back with the Rangers, Keeper leads the team into the woods where they find Heckle living alone, and though they're at first hostile, Heckle explains that he and Snide have split and that he no longer wants their Energems. Heckle goes on to say he's the only survivor of Sentai 6 and that everything he's done has been to restore his planets. Shelby asks Heckle how he would accomplish such a task, but Medusa suddenly appears ready to turn the group to stone. Acting fast, Shelby knocks the amulet from Medusa's grasp before the Rangers morph, with Keeper joining the fight and telling Shelby to destroy the amulet. Shelby stops Heckle in his tracks as he walks toward the amulet, but the former baddie says that they can destroy the amulet together, and combining their powers, they manage to do just that, turning the others back to normal. Shelby thanks Heckle for his help, but as he walks away, Heckle warns Shelby to get off the planet soon. Before she can ask more questions, Medusa grows giant, ready to crush the Rangers, but luckily the Spinozord emerges from the ground, engaging in a fight with the monster, and combining it with the Ankle and Pachazords, the Rangers form the new Spinocharge Megazord. The new Megazord packs quite a punch as it easily takes down Medusa, but once the other Rangers arrive on the scene, Medusa reveals reveals that he's still standing, much to Shelby's surprise. Medusa then summons an army of Vivix and Spike Balls, so the remaining Rangers morph into action before the full team charges into battle, where they take down all the troops and finish off Medusa. After the fight, the Rangers see Sledge's ship take flight, and as it enters orbit, Sledge heads to the bridge to witness Earth's final destruction, while the Rangers regroup back at the lab. Zenowing congratulates Shelby on her success and asks her to be his apprentice, but Shelby declines, preferring to study dinosaurs instead, before her and Tyler talk about how Shelby was able to learn from her mistakes to save the day. The team then tries to figure out what Sledge's next move is, with Shelby relaying what Heckle told her, and the episode ends with the team on the fence about trusting Heckle as they try to grasp the gravity of the situation, to be continued appearing on the screen. This episode is a great way to start what I can only assume is the final arc of the season, and is much more fast-paced because of all it needs to do. I was especially impressed with how well Sledge's absence fits with how the season started, and the small detail of Sledge and Snide working as partners, which is what Heckle said would happen if he ever helped Sledge get the Energems in his introductory episode. Speaking of, Heckle is shown to be more proactive in this episode, but even though he saves the Rangers from Medusa, he's shown to be a bit of a rogue, not an ally to the Rangers, just trying to stop another planet from falling at evil hands. My curiosity is certainly piqued as to what part Heckle will play in the story going forward, but that's a topic for another time. However, not only does this episode showcase the villains well, but it does what I said should have happened in the last episode by bringing the Rangers into the main plot, and even making this episode a character-defining moment for Shelby. Over the course of 2 seasons, we've seen Shelby's passion for dinosaurs, and how that translates to her caring for the Rangers' Zords, so it only makes sense that Shelby would make her own Zord with her dinosaur knowledge and technical know-how. Side note, it's really cool that we finally get to see how a Zord is created on screen after 23 years of Power Rangers being on television. The action is also fantastic in this episode. Not only was the Spinal Charge Megazord absolutely awesome in its first fight, but with the Rangers team being so large, we get to see the Rangers fight huge groups of villains, and I gotta say, I was pumped every time the Rangers charged into battle. Overall, this was a strong way to open the finale, combining all the elements that make Power Rangers great, and because of Heckle's ambiguity as a character right now, I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm Nick, aka IronBat1993, and may the power protect you.